Well, and as part of that, Brian, water is not the only thing that moves through the soil profile. There's also nutrients too.
Yeah, as we have movement of the water through that profile, it's a soil solution that's moving down. It's grabbing all things with it. So cation and anion, so that's calcium and magnesium and salt particles. All those things are in a soil solution that plants take up as a nutrient in themselves, is moving down with it. Now, a lot of our nutrients aren't extremely mobile. So yes, we're having movement down of some nutrients with that water going down, but it's really our mobile nutrients that move the most. And the mobile nutrients are things like nitrate, sulfur, chloride, boron. They're mobile because they don't attach to the soil particle, which is a charge dependent. They repel from soil particles. So they really exist in that soil solution 100%. So as our water moves down, it's moving those mobile nutrients down through the profile to a limiting layer, to wherever that water goes and either stops. It's either going to keep going to depth, or will hit a limiting layer and go down slope or down sideways. So again, nitrate, sulfur, boron, chloride, those are our most commonly seen mobile nutrient deficiencies.
So from that standpoint, the winter crops are already standing, the summer crops are in the ground. Say we planted soybeans, we were lucky enough to get that window of opportunity to plant, and what can we expect from standing water from a recently wetted field?
Okay, so with the standing water, it's not so much movement down through the soil. Standing water means that the water has hit a limited layer and you filled that soil profile, so there really hasn't been the downward movement. Standing water is more of a oxygen issue, and so we see lack of oxygen impacting some of our nutrients and making them harder to reach. So if you have standing water, you'll have issues with phosphorus availability. In our sandy soils, we probably did lose some of the potassium that those crops are going to need, especially when setting seed in the future.
With those summer crops that may have been planted, how do producers know where they are with their soil nutrients, and when do they go back to try to correct it?
So once we're in season, we're going to assume that everything's planted already. It's more challenging because it's more time consuming. A pre-plant, you'd be out there soil sampling, have time to melt to the lab. The lab would analyze and get it back, and there's more time. Once we're in season, really it starts looking at watching the areas, watching the crops for any deficiency symptomology and tying it to the soil texture. So if I've got a cornfield that's a sandy soil texture, I'm out there looking for things like a sulfur or nitrogen deficiency. So nitrogen deficiency is yellowing at the lower of the plant, sulfur is yellowing at the top of the new growth. I'm also looking for potassium, which has a different symptomology around that edge in a sand. In soils like this, it might be holding water. I'm looking for also nitrogen. Maybe we've volatilized some nitrogen, maybe we've had some tie-ups. So you really got to be more of a plant detective than a soil detective and let the plant let you know what's going on. So knowing your nutrient deficiencies, going through those keys.
And there are actual charts and illustrations to help with that.
Yeah, there's lots of opportunity. There's several apps that are available that you can look that show nutrient deficiencies as visual. We also have some fact sheets with OSU.
Okay, thank you very much, Brian. And for links to all of those, go to our website, sunup.okstate.edu.